Hey everyone, it's LaShonda King. Thank you so much for subscribing and sharing our LDK YouTube channel and for following us at Queen King Slays on Instagram. Welcome to Transparency Thursday, where I openly share a real life experience, hoping that my transparency will help somebody else. Today's title is called Connection Failed. Yes, I'm going to be talking about a time where I tried to connect with someone and that connection just failed. I can't go by without acknowledging that today is February 14th and that there's a lot of extra love in the air. The good thing about having this YouTube channel and sharing with you all is that it holds me accountable to self care and to making sure that I'm practicing the things that I share with you all. So, behind this thing, you all don't know that I am in the middle of a really huge move and I have had a crazy busy work week. So much that on Tuesday, transparently, y'all, I needed a break. I couldn't do my video with the full quality that I expected myself, and my perfectionism, the guilt that I might give myself, it caused me to almost really run myself ragged to do a video. Self love says, self care says, do what you need to do for your body, LaShonda. Go to sleep. And so I did. I was very proud of myself, you all. So let's go forward. Talking about connection failed. I love speaking in analogies. So in this particular example, I'm going to compare the connection that was failed to me using one of my favorite software tools, WhatsApp. So WhatsApp is a calling app that you can use to do voice calls and video calls anywhere in the world for free. So I use WhatsApp frequently, and sometimes WhatsApp is amazing. Our connection, everything is crystal clear, and sometimes WhatsApp just doesn't do what I think it's going to do. So, you ever use one of those calling apps and you make a call, you're all excited to talk to that other person, you see them on the other side of the screen, and you're like, wow, this connection is going to be great. This is going to be a great conversation. I'm going to get so much out of this. But in reality, something about the connection is just not there. The call starts to cut in and out, as in, it gets choppy, things are distorted. And then with WhatsApp, next thing you know, there's a break in the connection and it starts saying reconnecting, reconnecting, reconnecting. That is so annoying, you all, because here you are thinking that this connection is going to be clear, but all of a sudden stuff starts going wrong and there's a break in the connection and it has to reconnect. The call reconnects. You are hopeful that the connection and the quality will get better, but it continues to get worse. And then next thing you know, the call fails. So me being the persistent person that I am, I'm checking my phone, I'm checking my service, I'm checking my bars to see if there's something on my end that's causing this call quality or this connection to be poor and for that call to have failed. So being the persistent person that I am, I call back and I call back, hoping that the connection will get better. Sometimes it does, and sometimes it doesn't. So for Transparency Thursday, I'm going to share a real life experience when I was really excited to connect with someone based on all these amazing things that I had heard about them. And in reality, our connection was very poor. It led to a failed connection. And I had to really sit with that and challenge myself in that particular situation. So I'll give you just a brief overview, but basically, there is someone who I had seen in a shared space who lots of people that I know and trust, love and respect and think they're an amazing person. So they have to be an amazing person. I want to connect with this amazing person. So basically, I set up a time to connect with the person, and our conversation, our connection just was not as positive as I hoped it would be. Actually, if I'm being really honest, it was very traumatic for me. It was very triggering. It caused me trauma, and I am going to fully own that. Like to this day, when I see that person, I'm still triggered by their presence, even though I can't do anything about it. So, thinking about WhatsApp, I call back and I call back, and that's usually how I operate. But this year I'm working on self love, and that means setting boundaries and making sure that I am not recalling something that is clearly a failed connection, or something that's not going to connect at this time, or that a person is not equally trying to connect the same way that I am. So I told you all once before in the What About Your Friends video that sometimes I feel like I lack connections, whether that be with friends, with professional colleagues, but basically I'm always looking to connect with new and good people. Sometimes I realize though that I can have a scarcity mentality, and that will sometimes force me to, not force me, sometimes it'll have me to compromise what I value in order to get out of a place of scarcity. So one thing that I value a lot is reciprocity. The ability for someone to do unto me what I'm doing for them. So in this particular case, I wanted to see if I could fix this broken connection. I wanted to see if I could restore this connection. But in reality, that person wasn't doing the same. There was no reciprocity in the situation. Normally, when I think back, I realize that I would really still keep trying, you all, but since I'm working on better boundaries, I just didn't. What I will say is that a lot of times other people may dismiss our feelings, and that's going to be a video for Talk About It Tuesday. But what I realize about myself is that I'm so empowering to other people. I want other people to be affirmed and to be treated well. And sometimes I don't do the same for myself. I don't fight for myself and advocate the same way that I fight and tell other people to advocate for themselves, or the way that I advocate for other people. In this particular case, I thought that this connection would be really good, really clear, and in reality it wasn't. And normally, or not normally, in the past tense, how I would operate is this, connection would be poor. I might make an effort to call this person and see if I can reconnect. In this case, I chose not to. But because this is a person that is in some same spaces as me, I am consistently triggered by that person. But luckily, the spaces that we occupy together are typically online. So I have a choice of how I see this person and how to make boundaries accordingly. So I've done all the online boundaries and all that kind of stuff. But recently, you all, I had to see that person unexpectedly in person, and a lot of things are triggered for me in that moment. Typically, I might ask that person like, hey, do you have a minute to talk outside? Because I always want to restore a connection. And what I decided this time, you all, was very radically different for me. My self-love, my boundaries, what I needed for myself was more important. I chose to speak, be cordial, and let it just be that. Normally, my scarcity mentality, my desire to be a connector, to be connected with people, will force me to feel internally guilted into fixing something that didn't go well, when again, this isn't being reciprocated. This person hasn't emailed me, messaged me, texted me, or anything to say that they have a desire to restore this connection. So why am I so pressed to make this connection work when both parties aren't doing the same? Again, that's something that I'm continuing to work through. And this is an example of me doing that. Me walking my walk and talking, like walking the talk that just following through, however you want to call it. I'm very proud of myself. I saw that person in the flesh. It caught me off guard because I wasn't expecting to see them. But I'm still my normal, kind, polite self. I said hello. I greeted them properly. But I was proud of myself that I did not try and restore that connection in the moment. Because you know what? Like I said in another video, everybody ain't for me. Just because that person resonates and clicks with other people does not mean that they have to click or resonate with me. Because I'm such a nice person and I care so deeply about situations and people, that's been really hard for me to accept that I'm not going to, or I cannot connect with anyone, with everybody, even if they're nice just like me. But in reality, sometimes something about you triggers something in another person. Something about that other person trigger something in you. And even if two people are both amazing people, it does not mean that you're going to connect, that you have to connect. And in reality, sometimes connections just fail. I want you all to know that if you are trying a lot to connect to people, you're not wrong for that. But I want you to consider, are your values aligned with what you're doing? Would you want a friend to experience what you're experiencing? Are you forcing other people to treat you the same way that you're treating them? Like, you have to make sure that people are meeting you too and that they're putting in the same effort that you're putting in. And if that's not the case, you have to question the relationship. You have to question what you're doing and make sure that you are upholding proper boundaries to make sure that you're taken care of. I appreciate you joining us for Transparency Thursday. I will look forward to seeing you on Talk About It Tuesday. I would love your comments, your feedback, your suggestion. I'm looking for topics for Talk About It Tuesday. I'm open to questions that you might have for Transparency Thursday. You all, thank you so much for engaging with the community, for sharing these videos, for allowing my experiences and my knowledge to help other people. I hope that you all have a great day, evening, or night, and I will see you all at the next time. Have a wonderful day.